for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Madam, what tier is this? Hello, Joyeux Noël, and stuff. That's your actual French, that is. Welcome to the Flash and Bird podcast. I'm Siobhan. I'm joined by Great Uncle Bulgaria himself, or a Bay City Rollers fan. We're not sure yet. It's Brian.
Hi.
And looking very plain for Christmas, I'm going to say this.
This is a lovely wintry.
Is that your special Christmas grey whiteout sort of thing in case of snow?
Yeah, absolutely, so I can get lost.
So that's Eddie.
He blends in with the weather in Scotland.
Exactly.
It's camouflage.
Yeah. Chameleon. Pale face, pale jumper. You're
not as pale as me.
It's camouflage.
No.
It's camouflage.
Okay. Righty-ho.
You don't want to get noticed. Just...
No, that's true. That's true. I don't. That's Eddie, by the way, over there.
Hello.
Yeah. Brian, you asked me what Boris Johnson had done yesterday.
Yeah, what has your idiot king done?
Fucked it up. Again.
Basically, up to a couple of days ago, you see, they wanted everybody to have a nice Christmas. 5 days, 3 bubbles, sharing 5 days together. And then yesterday, it all sort of hit the fan a little bit. Because all the information come in about a new strain of coronavirus, which I think does it affect people a lot more quickly. I'm not sure. It's something about
it's more infectious from what I've heard, or something.
It's easier to catch.
It's not as lethal though. Hello, Sean. No. Hello, sweet. Happy Christmas, my darling.
Hi, Sean.
Get your dad a scarf for Christmas.
He's out with the dog. Who can he be?
He's got an electric telephone.
They're called phones, Eddie.
Right. So
it's newfangled invention.
I'm supposed to be the old one here.
It's really weird.
That's what worries me. My wall's on fire again.
Your wall is on fire.
Yeah,
it's on fire. It looks actually more on fire this week.
Okay. I'm just imitating the ending of Inferno Part 6.
You're doing some forging in the house. You're going to make your own saber and everything?
No.
You got a hammer?
Anyway, so what happened was we had a tier system of 3. Okay, so tier 1, hey! Tier 2, which is what I'm in.
I've got 4.
Well, yes, Scotland went to 4. Wisely so. We should follow Scotland's lead in New Zealand's lead in quite a few things. But it turns out there's this new variant of COVID, so they've introduced a tier 4, which is very close to lockdown. Of course, all right, schools are shut now, but they'll be back. Hello, Benny Boy! Oh, that's you. Shut up. Stop confusing me.
Hello!
And as a result, a lot of people who had been told up until a couple of days ago that, they were still going to have their Christmas. Be a little bit different, but they'll still have it. Now they're allowed 1 bubble for 1 day.
One bubble for 1 day?
Yeah, a bubble. Basically, you have your bubbles. Different households are like bubbles, they call them. And you can sort of have 3 bubbles together. But that's it.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound confusing at all.
Oh, yeah. And then the message yesterday was, have yourself a jolly good Christmas, but at the same time, don't have a jolly good Christmas. And this is essentially what they've been saying all through the year. Now, do this, but don't do that unless you're doing this, in which case you do that. It's insane. Look, it's not the worst. The worst response to coronavirus in the world, but
no, that would be us. We're number 1. We're number 1.
I'd like to see how you compare to there's a South American country, Venezuela.
Yes,
the boss, or is it could actually be Brazil, their fascist leader, and he takes his cue from Trump.
Yeah, it's getting there. At least they're not floating around martial law because they lost the frickin' election.
I don't see the army obeying it.
Oh, no. I don't either. but they're trying.
They are very.
So you have got a very dangerous kind of pseudo would love to be a dictator. We've got a bumbling idiot who's telling us at the start of the week, have Christmas. Who's telling us at the middle of the week, have Christmas, but be careful and use your common sense and maybe not have Christmas.
Oh,
and then by the end of the week, he's telling us not to have Christmas. So he's
do they actually know what the British version of common sense is, or at least the English version?
I was always brought that common sense doesn't exist.
It's not good. It's a little boy reaching up to an electricity pylon to get his discus back.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Or Donald Pleasant's...
but we need Tufty the safety squirrel to save him.
That's true. Good old Tufty.
Yes.
And we lost the Green Cross Code, man. So
we did.
That's what we're all screwed.
We did. We don't believe
and
you
we
lies,
lost Boba
Princess
Fett.
Leia. We did lose Boba Fett.
Yeah, the original Boba Fett.
The one
He's
character
the guy
I
for
never
Doctor Who.
understood.
I never realised
That's
that.
Hal the
That's
Archer.
the guy for Doctor Who. Yeah, I didn't know.
He's done quite a lot, to be fair, over the genres.
Yeah, I recognise his face.
Oh, yeah,
he's younger versions.
But he's like David Prowse. He's been in everything.
It's just so sad he didn't get, well... I mean, they changed actor for the prequels, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then they've got the same actor from the prequels back in for The Mandalorian. Spoilers! Yeah. So you were talking about the end credit scene, post-credit scene on The Mandalorian.
Yes, you're going to fill us in about how it's old hat.
Yeah, it is. I mean, been there, done that. I'm not going to say what the end credit scene is. For those who haven't had a chance to watch it, it's only been out a couple of days. But I used to play a game called Star Wars Galaxies. Long-term readers of The Flashing Blade will know this. And the good thing about Galaxies was it was a complete sandbox. The tagline to the game was make your own adventure. And my God, it gave you the tools to do that. 29 different professions. And you can just pick and choose from each one. Though you only had a set amount of points, so you had to get your template just right. But then you could retrain and do something else instead. There were non-combat professions, such as dancer or tailor. It was just wonderful. And the economy in the game was completely player-based. Players made... produce the buildings, because you could have your own housing, and player towns, indeed player metropolises if you got it that big. And they made the droids, the weapons, the armour, everything. Everything was player made. Obviously there were rewards you would get from completing various things that weren't, but it was it was absolutely wonderful. And they had some of the landmarks from Star Wars in there, such as Theed Palace on Naboo, where many weddings took place, because you could marry in the game as well. One such place, and it was a theme park, it was Jabba's Palace. Now, you had to do the theme park to be able to get all the way in, and that's basically go up to the first person, do a couple of quests for them, move on to the next person, do a couple of quests for them. This included the meat beast. We had to hunt the meat beast. This was important. That's what it was called, the meat beast. Wonderful. Anyway, I was known in the guild for being a little bit batty. Can't quite work out why. But they asked
Indeed.
me... Yeah,
the hell you say?
Because I'd set up the freelance peacekeeping agency in-game. And... so they asked me if I would mind awfully being a participant in this event they were running. They needed me to run interference on the forum we had, RPGing it. Basically, these 3 or 4 guys were going to leave the guild, set up their own guild, declare war with the guild, and the whole idea was teams would have to go to Jabba's palace to rescue the dancer and entertainer Sosei, another player character. But people were up against the best PvPers in the guild to do this. So it was unlikely, but they asked me to, facilitate it, if you like. And so fair enough, I did. Come the day of the event, I plonked a massive encampment, because I was a Master Ranger. And this thing had everything. Anything you could want in it, including a toaster. And basically each team, in turn, would meet me at this encampment, and I would lead them into Jabba's palace, and then it was down to them to find the bad guys, kill the bad guys, and rescue the princess. And then I'd come back waiting for the next team to do that. So there were 5 teams. Took 4 teams up individually. Nobody won. 5th team turns up.
Was the princess in another castle?
No, strangely not.
Because that would have been perfect.
Strangely not. But so I took the 5th team up and then said to people on TeamSpeak, sorry guys, I'm going to have to bugger off for a second. Swap TeamSpeak channels to the Freelance Peacekeeping Agency's channel and the team I had quietly assembled beneath everybody else's noses. And so as the last team is busy trying to kill the bad guys, one of the bad guys turns around, targets something. It's bomb droid, bracket, chisel. Chisel's being one of the FPA. Hang on, what the hell's happening? On? We ambushed them, we slaughtered them, we rescued the princess. We just used Team 5 as meat shields. That was a lot of fun. And basically, I ended up owning Tatooine as a result. So at the end of The Mandalorians, ask my permission first, if you don't mind.
Cease and desist. I think we need to look at cease and desist.
That was a great game. When it was at its height, huge guild, lots of different things happening, including the obligatory hour-long wait for everybody to get together to actually go and do what it is you want to go and do. And then they just ruined it. They completely ruined it. The game itself, the mechanics of the game, well, they turned it into a WoW clone. Originally defined professions and this, that, and the other. But when they did that, they lost most of their community. But they slowly started to build up a new community with this new system. But it just wasn't the same. There just wasn't the volume of people. It just... Yeah, it's a great shame. But,
I remember when the change took place and everybody was yelling about it.
Well, everyone just formed a demonstration in Coruscant and they just spawned level 150 battle droids to kill people. In this case, well, thanks very much, John Smedley. He's a weatherman. Anyway, sorry, Gosh, we're talking Star Wars. This is unheard of.
I know.
I haven't asked you how your weeks have been. Brian, how's your week been?
I survived. I'm here. Thank
Hooray! God. How deep's the snow?
Not nothing.
So it's not deep and crisp and even?
No. It's maybe 1 to 2 inches. It's nothing. It is snowing now, though, so...
Right, okay. Remember that. 1 to 2 inches is nothing. Next time you're with a girl, don't start saying it's brilliant.
1 to 2 inches is nothing. 3, however. 3 is the magic number.
Is it? Okay,
just saying.
Right. And Eddie, how's your week been?
What Brian said, but Star Wars took up a big part of the end of the week, which I kind of made up for a lot. So yeah, it was good. I'm going to say no more than that, because if you haven't...
I'm going to say no more than that and vanishes. Hang on.
That hasn't happened in a while.
No, it's just, but the timing was perfect. You just turned around and said, I'm going to say no more than that. Blip.
Click.
There you go. Could have done it any better if I tried.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, to be honest with you. I can take it or leave it. But I've been watching The Mandalorian and enjoying it. It's good television. I didn't get the chills at the ending of The Mandalorian that a lot of people did, because I'm not that invested. But I did enjoy it.
I just didn't expect it, and that's why it was like, no, can't be, no.
The return.
The only thing that could have made that better would be if Sebastian Stan
aye.
was there instead.
Why?
He's almost a lookalike.
Yeah, he's very.
Is he?
But
If he combs his hair the right way,
dyes it
and
blonde.
like shaves, it's perfect.
Yeah,
It's damn near perfect.
I think they recreated Jar Jar really well. You know?
Well, yeah.
Miss,
Jar
I gotta
Jar-
rescue you, okie dokie?
I'm just glad that they actually established it was all Jar Jar's fault.
Well, it was, quite frankly. It was Jar Jar's fault.
Me's are very sorry. Yeah, absolutely. That was those lines brought a tear to my eye. Yeah.
He's so sorry, Annie. And then they cut off his head. I mean, how much better could it get?
That was made up for the Phantom Menace. Absolutely. It was
I don't remember that.
Yep.
That bit of Jar Jar losing his head.
It's in the after credit scene.
Yeah, you got to stay up for it.
What?
Right. If we all wish it hard enough, it might happen.
Keith Dunn from Staggering Stories. He did. There we go. That's what we're after. He did he used Play Star Wars Galaxies as well. And there are 2 planets. There was Naboo and a smaller planet called Rory in the same system, where obviously the Gungan hung out. All Keith did was run around Naboo and Rory, slaughtering Gungan villagers, giggling maniacally. That's all he did in the game. I think he had issues with the Phantom Menace.
I'm just going to say time well spent.
Right, hang on. Let's do what we actually came here for, which to be honest with you, I've lost track completely what that was supposed to be. And now from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who. I hope. Ooh, I love that bit of music. I say that every week, actually. So, anyway, we've got a mystery to solve. Is it Mr. Hollis or is it Mr. Ollis? You see, on the telly it was Mr. Ollis. In the book, it was Mr. Hollis. It's a bit like Wyler and Tyler changing between the TV and movie versions of the Daleks' Invasion of Earth. It's a case of which one's the canon? Anyway, Mr. Hollis, he's seen a weather balloon come sort of floating down into his bird sanctuary, and he's not happy about it. So he goes to have a little look, calls the number on it, and then vanishes because 1970s Doctor Who.
Reasons.
Yeah. And the guy at the other end of the phone call, we assume, turns up in his Land Rover. It's Mr. Tyler. No, hang on a moment. Yeah, Dr. Tyler. I'm getting mixed up with his actual real name. Well, it's Dr. Tyler, he's a good old boy, isn't he? Dr. Tyler. He's a... he takes the balloon to UNIT, because everybody knows about UNIT, the top secret security establishment.
Well, it does say as you drive in, top secret unit headquarters.
Yeah.
What's it? Ministry of Defence. Doctors round the rear.
I never would have known.
Yeah. Anyway, fascinating tidbit. The house used in the 3 Doctors for UNIT is the same as the one used in the 5 Doctors. There you go. Anyway, it's the 3 Doctors we're watching. It's one of my very favourites. Shalom Galami Zoop, everybody. It's lovely. Basically, the Doctor's under attack. Something's been sent after him. And the TARDIS, obviously, still a bit kaput. He's making progress with it. He was able to get to Atlantis in the last story. But it's still... He's stuck on Earth. Stuck in the TARDIS with Joe and Benton. The Brigadier's stuck outside UNIT HQ. Can't get in because of all the jelly stuff. And, well, the Doctor has to ask for help using the emergency unit previously seen in the Time Monster. He's bleepy, 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 goes all the way over to the planet Jewel, where the Time Lords are. I'm being a smartass. And here's one thing I never understood. The two Time Lords, the President and the Chancellor, yeah? How come the President almost seems to defer to the Chancellor all the time?
Democracy in
Politics.
action. That's what it should be.
Hot tea. Not
Is
that
what
hot.
am I seeing a Dalek on the mug?
Dalek and a Jadoon and a Scarecrow, apparently.
Nice mug.
Excellent.
So, the three Doctors. It comes to a point where they decide to send the Doctor's second self, that we know of back then, this is too hot, to go and help himself. That works out really well. Oh yeah, they get on like a house on fire.
They got along like a house on fire.
Blazing
Oh
rounds.
yeah, the three of those guys. Oh, they get along great.
No, sir. No. It's just the two of them. The third one, when he turns up, sorts them out. Which is only right and proper, quite frankly.
Because he was the original, you might say.
He should be the most immature then, because he was the young.
That's just it. But he's lived the longest in his life.
Oh, never thought of that. Ah. Okay, that's part of my critique going.
Sorry.
That's just pretty much all our arguments. Good game.
I mean, we don't do in-depth reviews here, but you can't really go too in-depth with the Three Doctors anyway. I mean, it was the opening story of the 1972-73 season, and Barry Letts is on record as saying they always wanted an event to open each season. So you had the Master, you had the Daleks, then you had the Three Doctors. It wasn't technically an anniversary story in that the anniversary was still a year away. The 10th anniversary, but it began at the end of 1972 and went into January 73.
I always thought it was an anniversary story. I thought that was part.
No, it was in November. That's when they released the 10th anniversary special. All hail the 10th anniversary special. And you can't critique this too well. Because it is just, it's just fun. It's not. I've said this on another podcast that hasn't been released yet, but it's not smug like all the anniversary stories were after it. You know, it's just, we're gonna have the Three Doctors together. It's just another story, and the joy of it is it takes a lot of the weight off Troughton. So he can just have fun, and he does.
Yeah.
You know, the heavy lifting's Pertwee, and he just has fun, and it's lovely. Why did I think I had to do a Hartnell voice tonight? Oh, I remember. Okay, yeah. So, well, the Three Doctors. Which one of you'd like to go first? Because I've got nothing bad to say about it.
I don't think any of us will.
And there's nothing bad to say about it.
Well, there we go then. That's our review.
No, well, I'll just add a little bits, right? So you killed me. The only thing I could think you could take it would be was around the first Doctor being the youngest, but he's the oldest in that time frame. So yeah, okay, we'll let that go. This is the first Doctor Who story I bought. I got this on iTunes. Never bought a Doctor Who. Saw it on iTunes and thought I'm going to watch that again. It was meant to when it was first on. It was in UK Gold started repeating them. That was my introduction to Hartnell. So this was my introduction to Hartnell. It was my introduction. Well, I've seen a few times, and I just love Pertwee. And this is the multi-Doctor story that the rest of them have to kind of
I agree.
hang their hat against.
I totally agree on that. It's like I say, it's not that self-aware, unlike all the others. As a result, I think it tells a better story.
It's an episode with a good story that just happens to feature the three Doctors, and they're just used perfectly. Just the juxtaposition between 2 and 3. I'm not getting on, and the natural competitiveness taking place. You just sit and watch that, and in anybody else's hand, that could be, oh come on, it's just a joy to watch. It's not. You don't get irritated by it. You just sit there with a big cheesy grin on your face and watch them try to compete with each other.
Yeah, I mean, the bit at the end of the Five Doctors just seemed very false.
Yeah.
You know, Troughton and Pertwee were
trying.
Well, they were trying to put something into it, but I think the big problem with the Five Doctors was everybody was worried about egos.
Yes, obviously, you just seen this whole thing around. It was, I think, the whole thing with Tom not wanting to do it, and yeah, I think by that point in time, maybe a few people are up their own backsides. But with this, it's still kind of young enough.
Well, Troughton and Pertwee did have a slight problem because Troughton would do a vague approximation of his line, and Pertwee liked everything to be exact, so he knew when to come in. And there was a slight thing about that, but that soon got sorted out.
That happened in this as well, did it not? Because it was kind of
that's what I'm talking about. Three Doctors.
Said, Katie Manning had to get him to say to John, just let him do his thing and just go with the flow.
No, sorry, I was talking about Three Doctors. Sorry.
All right, sorry.
No. But Three Doctors is a Christmas story for me because I mean it was the first episode was broadcast the week after Christmas Day, and I do have memories of certainly remember watching episode 2. I've got memories of Benton throwing something into the gel, because he has his little whatever the hell he's eating. He's throwing him. It's probably Jelly Babies, the Second Doctor's Jelly Babies. But
can you just imagine Benton coming back in the modern series?
No,
I love Benton in this though. I mean, Benton is us in this, right? He's the kind of normal guy. He's the one. He's following orders. The brig is
the most
very
chill guy on the face of the earth.
I think the Brigadier is us. Out of his depth and trying to follow.
No, I got that from Benton though.
I think they're both
the common man.
I think Benton's too down to earth to be. He just accepts whatever happens with the Doctor. You know, he says it. Nothing to do with you surprises me.
If you get the chance to meet the Doctor, you're just going to just sit there and go with the flow, do everything that you're told to do. I mean, that's...
I would insist on... What have I done with
there are giant globs of antimatter like just jellies. Rolling around.
I would insist on going in the ship. Give me 2 seconds, gentlemen. I think I've been a silly girl. Back in a sec. Carry on talking.
So I don't know about you, Brian. Another thing I like about this is just Omega, right? So we watched Arkham of Infinity a couple of weeks ago, if you remember, and they all tried to do the thing.
Unfortunately, I do.
Yeah, another one of our punishments. Omega is both. They try to make him a threat and also a tragic figure. Yeah, they're just trying to copy the Three Doctors.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Three Doctors gets away with that. He can potentially destroy a universe, but he's there by accident. He's went mad because he thinks his people has left him.
They didn't know he was alive.
Yeah.
And he took off the helmet. He's not there anymore.
So Omega is the kind of threat but tragic figure. You feel an element of sympathy for Omega. Whereas in Arc of Infinity, it was just a case of, no. That one.
Yeah. I don't feel that for Omega at all. I'm just like, whatever, dude. You're a megalomaniacal maniac who's trying to take over everything.
I feel sorry for him. I think he's misunderstood.
Just remember, in every villain's mind, they're the hero.
And yeah, that could sort of work.
Yeah.
So I said. I think that this is the measuring stick of multi-Doctor stories, not just for TV, for Big Finish as well. I don't think. I liked the 50th anniversary special, and I think that came close. But again, this is it. This is how you want your multiple Doctors.
Oh yeah.
So Brian, anything else? What did you think? So apart from our disagreement about Omega, because I think Omega is probably a decent guy who's just took the wrong path. through
I think
circumstances
this
which were beyond his
hits
control.
all the right buttons, you know? I mean, it's not trying so hard that you can see it and it fails. You know, it's not like the Arc of Infinity. That tried way too damn hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it didn't work. This one tries just enough. It's an episode. That's all it is. It's not a statement. It's not a poignant farewell. It's an episode. And that really goes a long way.
And it was obviously, I think it was a few months after this that we lost Hartnell, so it was a potent and it was a kind of fitting farewell as well.
It was.
Obviously, he was too ill to actually participate physically, so that was the whole thing around being captured between the realities. But no, this is Hartnell at his best as well. Don't
Oh,
get touched.
God, yes.
Said that. Yeah. This is the version of Hartnell I wish we'd had all the way through. But again, he had to mature into that. This is him growing up.
Apologies. I've
Are you
lost
okay?
a thing. Which is
A thing?
A thing. And, of course, that's not going to work. It's got to go like that.
So we're just saying, Siobhan, yeah, I don't think anybody that doesn't like the Three Doctors is just wrong.
They're unworthy
They
of the
are.
Diamond logo.
They're very wrong.
Very much so. There are some nitpicks. The cheapness of Omega's palace, for example. The padding in episode 3 of just going round in circles in said palace.
Doctor Who's never done that before.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Besides, the palace is kept together by Omega's will in mind. He can make it elaborate.
What is this? Sorry.
And it's well, as we watch and we see the kind of lesser characters through this. I mean, like I said, the Briggs being urbane and quite sarcastic, and a bit at the end in terms of everybody's worried that the doctors have died, and says, "No, they'll turn up," and he's right. I think the lesser character, the guy, the obviously farmer. I'm going to get the unworthy, the diamond logo on, but I can't remember the fella's name. The farmer, the kind of the guy that's
Mr. Hollis or Hollis. Your confusion is understandable.
Yeah,
I've lost my tobacco.
You've lost your tobacco?
Oh, no. Wait, tobacco?
Tobacco.
Okay.
He just, I saw him, and there's a Las Vegas kind of magician stroke comedian who I can't remember their name, he's got that kind of haircut. Carrot Top. I just see him and I just think Carrot Top.
Oh, this is going to be awful.
But it's just the kind of the supporting characters, they're great as well. And Joe's just lovely and wants to be by the Doctor's side and totally loyal. It's just a warm pair of slippers to wear in a cold
Exactly.
winter's night.
It is.
Exactly. It's feel good Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It's it's just lovely. Is it a celebration? Yes, it's a celebration, but at the same time, it doesn't revel in it. It doesn't wallow in it. You know,
It doesn't try too hard. It tries just enough.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, it's just a case, as we've been saying, it's just another Doctor Who story that just happens to have the other two Doctors in it.
Yes.
And the perfect lead up to the fact that it's obviously Pertwee, the third Doctor's going to be able now to go through time and space, and he had to earn that. And what perfect way to do that was to take threat to the universe, work with his other selves. It ticks all the boxes.
I keep saying I would love to do a Three Doctors audio set at Christmas. Preferably me, Chris Thompson, and either Tim or John, and Katie. And just make it an hour-long, cosy story. And all the Doctors really do is bicker. And you get the wit. You try and get the wit as sharp as you can.
That's pretty much what they do anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, we always want more. To be fair. But, so the Three Doctors, gentlemen. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
If I had 3 thumbs, I'd have 3 thumbs up or 4 thumbs up.
Trust
It's
me,
just-
there are 3 things up.
One of them's just 1 or 2 inches long, and I'm not talking thumbs. Right.
3. 3 is the magic number.
It's the magic number. What have I done with it? It's really going to bug me now.
Amazon wish list, new lighter for Siobhan.
No, it's the tobacco. It's the expensive stuff. It's
Is it the imported stuff?
oh well, all tobacco's imported.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've had to make one out
They
of
don't have the Virginia there.
dry tobacco in my tin. That's going to be nice. Right, so, 3 Doctors. Go and watch it. It's on BritBox. You can probably still get the DVD. Series 10 is out on Blu-ray, so it's all been spruced up for you. If you've not seen the 3 Doctors before, just go in and enjoy it. You know, don't
Very
worry
good
about
one.
things. Just sit down, enjoy the performances, enjoy the fun.
And it was a perfect way to finish off this year listening to Doctor Who compared to
Yes.
some of the stuff we've had to watch and listen to.
Very true. Very true. Talking of which, of listening to Doctor Who, that is, we also did listening. Now, you see, 65 Eaton Place is where the Bellamy family live. That's Lady Bellamy, Margaret Bellamy, and of course her husband, Richard Bellamy, their son James, their daughter Elizabeth. And then, of course, you've also got the staff downstairs, headed up by the reliable Mr. Hudson, the Scottish butler, and Mrs. Bridges, the cook, played by Angela Bradley. Jenny Tomlinson from Revelation of the Daleks plays Ruby. And then, of course, you've got Jean Marsh as Rose. Jean Marsh, of course, being both Richard the Lionheart's sister Joanna in the Crusades, or, of course, we've got Sarah Kingdom, who had the strength of 10 men. I'm talking upstairs, downstairs here. However, we listened to the chimes of midnight because it's Christmas. And Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without Mrs. Bradley's plum pudding.
Plum pudding. Yep.
Which, I mean,
Just wouldn't be.
Mrs. Bradley was named after Angela Bradley, who played Mrs. Bridges. And there's an awful lot of upstairs, downstairs in the chimes of midnight. But you don't need it to worry about it. You know? Basically, the 8th Doctor and Charlie land. Some of this is a bit dark. And it turns out to be the kitchens of a house. Edward Grove. Odd things are happening with time there, and people are dying, except the staff seem to just accept it. In fact, there's a wonderful line, I think, in episode 3, which goes, what you're saying is, he drove the car inside the house up to the lounge, ran over himself, then put it back, then came back and laid on. That's it, sir. That must be how it happened.
Suicide. Took his own life. Yes.
Yeah, just... But there's a reason for this. And... perhaps, I don't know. Were either of you two coming to this blind?
I'd never heard this one before.
Had you heard any of the earlier 8th Doctor stories?
Yes. No, later ones, because in BBC Radio 4 Extra, I'd seen some of the ones with her that played Cilla Black.
What about you, Bri?
I missed this one entirely because it was on Spotify.
Oh, I'm sorry. Of course, yes. I do apologise. Yeah.
okay.
So basically, what happened is the Doctor rescued Charlie from the doomed R101 airship
Yeah.
in Storm Warning.
No,
She's supposed to be dead.
dead. I got that from this, but I totally believed it. I had no.
And indeed, it's during this season that things start to go very, very tits up. People not hearing about Shakespeare and that sort of thing. Orson Welles not knowing who Shakespeare is. And it all gets sort of resolved in Neverland, but that leads on to Zagreus, and we don't go there. We just don't go to Zagreus. This is Fandom Schism here. Most people will probably say that Chimes of Midnight is their favourite Big Finish story. A lot of other people will say Spare Parts is.
I'd be in that camp.
This is a great ghost story. It really is. It works really well. The performances are sublime. If you know what it's referencing, well, the upstairs, downstairs stuff, it's just an added layer. And like I say, some of the ludicrousness of the dialogue. You know, he committed suicide, that sort of thing. Yeah. It's written by Robert Sherman, and you know for a fact you're going to get a good story when you get Rob Sherman. There's no two ways about it. And, yeah, and there's a lot of people sort of say there's a lot of sapphire and steel in this. Up to a point there is.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Yeah, absolutely.
I am getting very warm.
Turn your fire down.
That means going down there and moving the wall back a few paces.
I don't know. Well, when you reach 1500 degrees, you're ready for a quench. Just put you in the oil. You'll be hardened in no time. Remember to run a file across you?
If you say so.
I've been watching a lot of Forged in Fire lately.
Right, okay. That's nice. Eddie. What's the strange man talking about, Eddie? He's being foreign at me.
He's Forged in Fire, whatever that is. But is that your personal
It's a knife-making show.
So you're Forged in Fire, so it's the privilege of us lesser mortals to light the flame.
No, yes. You're Forged in Fire. You got the fire there, right there on your wall. He said, pointing when nobody can see him. See?
Doesn't look as good on there as it does on the real thing. It's a far deeper hue to it on the real thing. But it's the camera trying to work it out. Eddie, talk to me about the Chimes of Midnight, love.
So I thought, here we go, Siobhan's at it again, because 3 Doctors, great, and it's like big finish. I'm being trapped here and I'm being cajoled into listening.
Would I ever do anything like that? I'm hurt.
Don't you dare. I'm listening to it and thinking, oh my God, I'm listening to an audio version.
I found my tobacco. It was under my keyboard.
Yay!
I don't think he's happy about that.
Oh no.
Sorry about that. Virgin Media keeps cutting me and Sean off. You'll see from the chat as well. Sean's getting
I get
off.
that occasionally as well.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's very annoying, especially when we're doing this, because I don't know what's happening with the stream. Anyway, sorry, love. Carry on, please.
So, I thought,
found my tobacco.
Oh, hooray!
He was under the keyboard.
Yay!
Yeah, it wouldn't be Christmas without Siobhan's tobacco. It just wouldn't be.
Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without me sitting there rolling up a fag going, all right, loves!
It's so much more than just Doctor Who meets upstairs, downstairs. Yeah, there's homages there.
Yes.
But it's just, it's small and suffocating because it's all within the house, but it's only downstairs because, God forbid, they're not allowed to go upstairs. That's just a no-no. It's the whole thing around the hours, the chimes to midnight, and the characters just getting confused because they start to asking, am I still alive? And they get killed, but then the next thing they're still there. And both the Doctor and particularly Charlie are starting to get wrapped into this. And Charlie in particular starts to become that they're setting up the Doctor to be like the great detective, and Charlie's the young mistress from upstairs. They try and escape, they go into the TARDIS, and then the TARDIS starts to form and become part of the house. There is no escape, and it just looks totally hopeless. But within all this eeriness and spookiness, which, yeah, it's spot on, very Sapphire and Steelers, there's humour. The whole thing about Plum Duff and the people just basically, they've been overplaced, and, oh, I'm not important. And 1 minute the maids is absolutely inconsolable because the chauffeur's been killed, and then the butler reminds her that, but we're not important. Yeah, you're right, and he's not important.
I love the bit. Another one of the bizarre things. The scullery maid, Edith, drowns herself apparently drowns herself in the, and the Doctor says that's not possible. You just can't do that. And well, that just shows how stupid she was.
She probably forgot herself that it was not possible. So
she's so stupid she breaks the laws of physics and biology.
This was just, again, thank you. It was just perfect big finish. It's
Yeah.
the whole thing is it's set around the time. It just feels very Christmassy. Yeah, there's the homage to upstairs and downstairs, but it's just properly done. It's a small, intimate story. I'm glad you explained the whole thing around Charlie, because I hadn't. There's the whole tie that back to her childhood, and there's a thing in there that happens. It's in her future, but it's referred to in the past around that her kind of maid, because she kind of comes.
Basically,
she's
what the
from
house is
Exodus.
doing is reflecting the house that Charlie came from.
Yeah,
Because of the temporal shenanigans. Now, whilst the house doesn't really look like Charlie's house, and the staff don't look like the staff, Edith, the scullery maid, is. But of course, Charlie doesn't really know Edith that well.
and it's just the whole sad thing because she doted on Charlie, because
Yeah.
Charlie spoke her name, and it was like.
And the
she'd had
problem
whole
being
life.
was, Edith, when she found out that Charlie had been on the R101, she killed herself.
Yep.
And the thing is, Charlie's not dead, so Edith doesn't know, am I supposed to be alive or dead? And time has taken that. And it's...
It's tragic. I mean, you laugh at this, you're scared of this, you could physically cry at this at bits as well, because it's perfect. I mean, this is just Big Finish at its best as well, and it's great. Another great way to finish up the year.
Yeah, very much.
Because it's just.
Well, we're
I mean,
not
this is-
quite finishing off the year this year. We've got
Oh,
one
no,
more
no.
show, and that one's a surprise.
Oh, cool.
Oh dear God!
So
Hopefully a surprise. We shall
Don't
see.
look at me. I haven't killed Spider-Man in a while.
exactly. Thank you.
You can remember
so-
this
so-
line.
This is on sale on Big Finish just now for
£1.49.
£1.49. I mean,
Get
that's a
it!
bargain.
Get
Get
it!
I mean, seriously.
You will not regret it. The surprise next week. I'm not sure whether to describe it as a good surprise or a bad surprise. You'll have to tell
think
me
I'm
next
letting
week. All right.
When it happens.
Yeah, basically. The Doctor Who story we are doing next week is Resolution. Last year's New Year special. Why do you think we could be doing that, boys?
As a lead up to the next special.
Because 2 days after Revolution of the Daleks, I'd like to review it. If the two of you are free, that is.
Yeah,
It's a couple of days after New Year's Day, so I don't know what your plans are.
I'm off until I'll be off from Christmas Eve through to the 5th of January because Scotland gets the extra day. So yeah, absolutely. Go
Oh,
for it.
sweet. Wonderful. All right. What about you, Bri?
It's on New Year's Day, right? So
It's
Our
on the
next-
telly on New Year's Day, and then 2 days later is the Sunday where we'll do this.
okay, yeah, I'm good.
You up for that? That's sweet.
So we're doing last year's special.
Last year's special, yep, because we didn't look at it, Brian and I. We looked at this year's main series, but we didn't look at the special. So yeah, it just seems like a nice little sort of forerunner to our review of Resolution of the Daleks. It's going to be nice to have a fairly recent, it's just been on the telly for 2 days review, quite frankly, rather than. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. And also, we'll be looking at the Blake 7 episode Spacefall. Yes, I'd better explain about this. D.I. Alex Drake and her daughter have been contacted by a friend, or
By
at
the
least
Federation.
by a mysterious person who's asked them to sort of not to eat or drink for 24 hours and follow them
36.
down to
36
the 36 hours and follow them down to the catacombs, so to speak, the lower levels of the Earth Administration Dome, where they then get led, even though it's illegal, they then get led over to some underground workings where there's a big rebel meeting being held by Gene Hunt. Unfortunately, Brian begged us not to do Ashes to Ashes.
So much so
Please,
that he sabotaged
please.
the servers at BritBox US, and Ashes to Ashes doesn't exist on it. Ashes to
No,
Ashes.
Ashes to Ashes does not exist on anything legal for American to Americans.
How did you manage that? That must have been a monumental hacking
Very
job you
impressive.
did.
It took a lot of
80 million
hacking
people.
and-
It took 80 million people to fake that. Yeah.
It took a DCMA takedown to every known site.
So we're doing Blake 7. We were going to do Blake 7 after Ashes to Ashes anyways. Just brought it forward. And everyone's been looking forward to doing this. So it's...
I'm actually on episode 4 of Blake 7.
Yeah, I'd noticed you were already ranting about Brian Blessed. It was...
I love it. I watch it at work all the time. I'm like, this is great.
Poor work. Blake basically watches as all these people get slaughtered by Federation officers. And they catch him. And the thing was, Blake was a rebel leader in his past. He's got no memory of it because they wiped it. This time they need to do something a little bit more iffy. So they've basically run up some fake charges of child molestation, which is very dark for 7 o'clock on a Monday evening.
Exactly.
Or Tuesday, I can't remember. And he gets found guilty, even though his lawyer tries his best and him and his wife end up getting killed for it. And Blake ends up on the spaceship in space, the London, being sent to Cygnus Alpha, the penal planet. And that's where episode 1 ends, with Blake vowing he will be back. He never gets back. Sam Beckett didn't return home. I'm just saying.
In 3 damn shows now. Quantum Leap, Life on Mars, and Blake 7. Sam Beckett has never returned home.
No. Blake 7, episode 1. Let's go to Brian first because he's American.
I love this. This was awesome. I don't like that. I like how it's setting everything up, but that half hour per show is just killing me.
Half hour per show?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Half hour per show.
Half hour of setup?
Yeah, no, the half hour show, it's killing me because I want to see more.
It's 50 minutes. Brian, it's 50 minutes.
Okay, then it's hour per show. But I still want to see more.
It's flying in for him.
I'm flying through these. I'm at work and watching. Yes, it's the Liberator.
It's a shame because you are going to run into some problems at some stage. And I really would love to see a fresh reaction to that.
Oh, don't worry.
Bless them.
But I wanted to get to the part where they get to Avon.
That's next episode. Well, you know.
Oh, I know. They've run into Avon already.
Yeah, he's
in
on,
all his
he's
bastardly glory.
Cold, calculating bastard.
Exactly.
Paul Darrow, who played him, always thought of him as a gunfighter, old school gunfighter.
I can see that.
Sure.
That's what Paul thinks or thought. He's no longer with us, unfortunately.
He never really worked on gunfighting shows, did he?
If you think, what you call it, Robert, the man for your uncle, the Magnificent Seven, Robert Vaughan's character in that, and Battle Beyond the Star. Yeah, I could see that. I could go with that.
Okay, I can get kind of it. Yeah.
But
I like the fact that they set up Jenna. She's on the ship with Blake. Can't really get into more of that because at the end of the first episode they blast off.
And on top of that, of course, frankly, Jenna doesn't have anything else to do.
Well, they're all
groped by hairy men.
Chairs. Yeah, they're strapped in.
I'm just forecasting Jenna's future.
No, I know.
Groped by hairy men. You can see why she left.
Well, she's doing okay so far in the second, third episode.
Do not, I repeat, do not watch the last episode.
Of this season or ever?
Of season 4, the last episode of Blake 7.
Okay.
All right, because I want to do a live reaction with you on that.
Okay, no problem. I will make sure not to.
I'm hoping you won't get spoiled for it.
I do know at some point. Okay, they just got the Liberator. That's where I stopped.
I've been on the Liberator.
The Liberator is fantastic.
I've sat at the front of the Liberator.
Okay, tell me, do they ever go into the backstory of the Liberator?
Yes.
Okay,
only slightly, but you find out where it's from, and they do indeed visit the planetoid. It's the first episode of season 2.
It's constructed. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a place called...
The space station, is it not?
I can't remember it.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I will find out. But yeah, I know they just got the Liberator. At some point in time, I know they lose the Liberator.
Yes.
Space Vomit.
Label.
Because I remember Avon just yelling at some computer named Slave.
Yep, that's season 4.
Yeah.
That's really bugging me that I cannot remember. The System. That's what it was called. The System.
The system.
There we go.
The system.
Brain's still there. Bit wonky, but it's still there. This pleases me greatly. Oh, dear. So, you're enjoying it. I'm going to turn to Eddie now. Now, Eddie's Scottish, which means his default setting is miserable. All right. So
That's why I love Avon. Avon is my hero. I mean, I just absolutely love Avon. This show should be Avon 7. Seriously.
Well, it ended up as.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So it gets even better, Brian. It gets even better.
I know.
Again, it's
Tarrant.
Well, young Blake-ish.
Just saying. Tarrant. And now that could be any number of Terry Nation characters, to be fair.
Well, the thing is around Blake 7 is it sets it stall right at the very start. I mean, could you get any darker? A massacre of families, young women and children as well. Blake is, you would find it's a dissident, and even the title sequence for season 1 just sets it up perfectly in terms of you just see the suffering and the brainwashing and interrogation of Blake. That he's accused of child molestation. I mean, this is like 7 o'clock.
And they fake the memories in the kids.
Yeah, so the kids believe it.
I honestly don't think they could show that today.
No, I don't think they would. I mean, they've been talked
Not
about.
even a kids show.
This isn't a kid show. This was never a kid show.
No,
it's a drama.
I can tell from the subject
It's not
matter.
really evening. This is before the watershed. So, I mean, this is...
The watershed didn't exist back then.
No, the 9 o'clock wars.
No. It was a lot later.
Yeah,
in the
different
80s.
times. Different times. But it's the whole thing. We have... The Star Trek has the Federation. We also have the Federation here, but it's so different. It's if anything, it's the Empire. It's in total control. It rules with an iron rod. It's devious. It always seems to win, and it looks as though there's absolutely no hope. Blake is quintessential hero. He's got principles. He's got ethics. And he's also one of the most uninteresting characters. And I'm not getting back. It's the other characters that are in the show that actually steal it. It's the whole thing around Jenna. I know the character, and she leaves, and for good reasons. But at this point, she's kind of a space pirate, and we don't know if she's trustworthy or not. Avon is just sarcasm and cool personified, and I mean that's favourite character. And the likes of Villa's just sneaky and evilly, and
he's just trying to survive.
Yeah,
exactly. And you think you've got an element of you could sympathise or kind of empathise with that, because he's just trying to get through the day and still be able to breathe. So and again, brilliant. There's more to come. This sets it still off quickly, and it just gets better and better. It's a perfect way to start it off. Terry Nation wanted to do this is the Magnificent Seven in space and put a British stamp on it. It's quintessentially British. It's quintessentially a classic of sci-fi. Yeah, the special effects were done on a minimalistic budget. Who cares? The story writing in this and the acting and the characterization.
The guns are bad.
Sets up. Yeah.
I'm going to
really
ask you a
bad.
question. We normally do this with the Life on Mars thing, but we can't now. Okay, Blake. Freedom fighter or terrorist?
Depends on who you ask.
Well, I'm going to basically keep asking that question as we go ahead, because
I think
it
Blake-
gets very, very grey.
Oh, well, I'm thinking Blake at present. Okay, Blake is more of a freedom fighter. Avon's the terrorist.
No, Avon's a thief. He's a cyber thief.
Well,
All he's
Maybe just
interested,
want- and for
all
the
he
money.
wants,
Yeah,
all
but no,
he's in
he
it is
wants
for the money.
vengeance. He wants too much vengeance.
He wants
He's ready-
vengeance on the people who betrayed him. He doesn't, he doesn't want vengeance on the Federation. All he's after is vengeance on the people that betrayed him, and to pull off the galaxy's greatest heist.
And retire and just
retire,
relax.
yeah.
And
And
don't we all
retire.
just want that?
And buy a planet
Yeah,
with what he
probably.
finds in
Yeah.
the room.
Yeah. But yes, so thumbs up.
Well, again, 3-4 thumbs up.
Yes.
In the UK, it's on BritBox. Is it on BritBox in the States?
No.
Oh, all right then. So you're going to have to look elsewhere, I'm
Let's
afraid.
just
The DVD
Box,
box
you
sets
get
are
your
out
act
there.
together.
DVD box
let's
sets.
just say I have it.
Yes, they should be fairly cheap. And I think the first 3 have a documentary by Davies. Making a Blake 7 documentary. I can't
I'll
remember.
need to look out for that.
I know he sent. I know he sent them to me, but they never got to make the season 4 one, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's the review part of the show. Not that we actually review things at all. We just sit here and babble, which is nice. It's something to do. Yeah. Next week, Resolution and
Oh wait,
Space
tomorrow, people.
Oh, Christ, yes. Do you know, I forgot about it. Did Blake 7, whilst we were doing Blake 7, remembered, oh shit, we got to do the Tomorrow People. By the time we'd finished Blake 7, I'd completely forgotten we needed to do the Tomorrow People. I'm so
I
old.
didn't watch it this week, but I watched it recently, so I've kind of...
That's all right, I'm going to blow my nose. Excuse
And can I just say, Sean, no, your dad doesn't sell Avon. There's no Avon calling in this house, thank you very much. Wrong Avon, and it's well you know it.
It was quite funny. The Liberator bracelets make this bing bong noise.
Avon calling.
Bing bong, Avon calling. Down and safe. Okay, the Tomorrow People. Ooh. The magician Ali Bongo is pretending to be the magician Mustafa. The great
Is it
Mustafa.
Ali Bongo?
That was Ali Bongo.
It definitely was, because
Yeah. Oh, it's the face from our childhoods.
absolutely. Crackerjack.
And one you possibly couldn't get away with nowadays. I think so. I mean, he didn't brown face, but he was, the name, the fez, etc., the hat.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's doing this wonderful thing on Opportunity Knocks, which was a talent show over here in the 70s, where basically a boy comes to life from a sarcophagus, just sort of emerges out of it, and the boy is Stephen. What madness is this? Stephen's not done that. So they go and investigate him a little bit, and other people start to get involved, like Professor Corsten and Trish from the army, all the stuff we saw back in Secret Weapon. And Colonel Masters gets shot very quickly at the start, and we don't see his face. In other words, Trevor Bannister wasn't going to come back.
No.
Probably for the best this way.
He wasn't free? Is that what we're saying? He
Yeah,
wasn't free?
basically. So
He was
basically,
unavailable at the time.
they discover it's a shape changer, and there's only one real shape changer they've had trouble with before, and it's Jedediah.
But wait, Jedediah was sent back in time 10,000 years. How could it be Jedediah? All right, sorry.
Dun, dun, dun.
Robot just sat there, I'm guessing, slowly rusting.
Actually, he was found on Mercury, the surface of
Yes,
Mercury,
he
by
was.
the Colton,
Who took him
who
there
used
to
to control Earth 10,000 years ago.
pay attention at the back, boys and girls.
And he worked with the Colton in suppressing the humans while the Colton, did their whole little...
But now he's back,
Brains.
and he wants revenge. Revenge on the Tomorrow People.
No, revenge on Stephen.
It does seem very personal, doesn't it?
Well, apparently the thing they said was his memory core was damaged.
Yes, I remember
So
that.
all he can really remember is Stephen.
Okay, fair enough. Yep. But
So he wants revenge.
this
Hence,
is
Revenge of Jedediah.
in which Jedediah wants some revenge. The ending of this is very downbeat. And I do remember it on original transmission because that slow version of the theme tune, I am determined to somehow either get hold of a version of it or somehow do a version of it myself, mixing it, sort of trying to get 2 or 3 different sources and mixing it together. I loved that. I really did. And like I say, that ending, I remember from being a kid. Yeah, it really is a case of all hands on deck this episode. Lots happens. There's someone with asthma near the microphone. And there are shocks, I think it's fair to say. Yeah. And it ends up with the Tomorrow People leaving Earth. The lab closed down. So God knows what's going to happen next. Probably somebody from a 70s band. We don't know.
Well, puberty happens to one of them.
Yes. Anyway, Brian, go on. Mr. Expert.
Let's see. Do we want spoilers?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
I mean, this is a 1970s kids' TV show. Yeah, we can do
Well,
spoilers.
they basically take Steven in, Trisha and Colonel Masters, bring them into the whatever the hell, pseudo Psycor, and they do a brain read on him, a brain scan, and they find out what makes tomorrow people. A little wet area in their EKG reading. So Colonel Masters is reading it. Steven shoots him. Why? Because he doesn't have the little wet area. So it's not Steven. Let's see. This also had Tyso's sister prominent in it.
Evergreen.
Evergreen.
I bloody hate you, I do.
And I don't know who's writing this kid, but oh my God.
Roger Price is writing her.
That explains why she's
like that with people like that, though. Evergreens. There was a few evergreens in there.
Yeah, they exist, Brian.
She can't keep anything straight.
Yeah, they exist.
Remember Evergreen? It's a shape changer, not the real Steven. I still don't like him.
Can't blame her, though, can you?
You put me in a trunk. Kid, right now, I'd put you in a trunk.
In the boot. Not the trunk.
All Evergreen wanted to do was go down and get her chips with her brand new umbrella, and then that nasty man put her in the trunk. I mean, she didn't ask for much.
Yep, Professor Colston, what a bastard.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Oh, this is great. I mean, so I did a wee bit of reading up on it because at the end of it kind of just felt kind of wrong because it was like they were all getting killed off, and then all of a sudden Timus has brought them all back to life, but conveniently moved them away to another because they've joined the Federation just like that, and they're away. And
it does make me wonder if it was supposed to finish there.
It must have.
It probably was, but then somebody got a hint of money.
Not with the Tomorrow People, love.
The money went to the people, not the show.
We need a vehicle for this new guy that plays drums. So let's bring back the Tomorrow People.
Well, no, it would have been Roger Price that did it, not Thames. Roger Price would have chosen Mike Holloway.
Yeah,
it's another example though. Where by the end of it, right? So
I can tweet him if you like.
Yeah, can you ask him?
Ask him about his fetish for young boys in disco outfits.
In kilts.
No. We're contacting Mike. We're not contacting the spirit of Roger Price.
Right.
Oh, not Roger Price.
If it's Roger Price, we'd have to get round the table, would we not? And
we'd have to link, quite frankly.
I don't have a glowy table, I'm sorry.
I'd love a place that looked like the lab. I really would. Have the Alexa with Tim's voice.
I don't
coming
like
out
the
of
new
that.
lab, though.
I don't think
the new
that'd
lab
be good.
looks like some sort of cocktail bar kind of alcohol.
Oh, wait, it gets better.
You said that like Trump. Oh, it gets better. It's
No. I think Eddie's talking about the new lab with the coffee table.
The new lab, yeah, I've jumped on.
Oh, with the coffee table?
Yeah, I think he's already on the It Gets Better.
It looks like a 1980s kind of coffee.
It looks like Gallifrey in the 80s.
Yeah, it looks like a coffee shop if you're an alien.
I'll say it now, right? By the end of it, poor Jedediah, right? I mean, so they make him a real boy by the end, but they make him a destitute boy by the end, and he's I mean, did you ever see Jedediah again?
No.
This
is it.
That's just, a man, a robot that could take any forms, and then he's just that's the evil. Is it the Federation in this as well?
It's the Federation. It's the Galactic Federation. The Trig.
The
Galactic Federation. No, they're all very questionable. These federations.
I agree.
We'll make you a real boy, and then go back and we'll make you homeless, and you can wander the streets. It was like that felt just
a bit iffy.
rehabilitate.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'd have thought that the Federation is supposed to be the great and good of everything, would have gone for rehabilitation. But how do you rehabilitate a robot?
Well,
Reprogram
they made him a human being, didn't they? And then it was a case of they just made him. They could only take one form now, and that was him as a destitute.
in very bizarre clothes.
Yeah, was it a donkey jacket from me?
No, it was basically a sheet toga sort of thing with a sheet hat.
So I felt at the end of it, I felt kind of sorry for him, and again these pesky teenagers that kind of ruined everything.
I didn't because of his acting.
Well, he has a robot.
But wait, it was Steven.
It's supposed to be. So no, again, great, very dark. I mean, our main characters getting killed off left, right, and centre on this, and it just again, and this was tea time viewing. This is like 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Oh, it was earlier than that. I'm pretty sure it was 4:45.
Yeah, so I get really enjoying it, but this is it's kind of the pinnacle.
Yes,
and it starts to get a little bit
yes.
after that. There's a reason why BritBox are only showing the 4 seasons.
Yeah,
I'm sure just now. I might be a rights reason as well, but some of the kind of scripting and themes in some of the later ones are a bit questionable, which is so.
And production as well, quite frankly.
Yeah,
it is now down. It's now it's now going down. It's now downhill for the Tomorrow People. Yeah. Basically, yeah. They've reached their peak, and that's it. It's a shame.
Steven Spoon leaves, I think, sometime during next season.
Yes, because he doesn't get on with Mike. Well, the characters don't get on, but and then Tyzo vanishes.
Puberty.
And then the New Gods happens. Anyway, that's the end of the Tomorrow People bit. But I think we all enjoyed the Revenge of Jedediah, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That was 4 for 4 this week. That was great.
That's not bad going, really, is it? And it'll be a lot easier next week because you only got 2. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy Spaceful, if you haven't already, Brian. And I don't know what you think of Resolution. We shall wait and see. Yeah. Well, that was fun.
Yep, more please.
Oh,
that was great.
All right, so we're Resolution, the new one? Or
Resolution was last year's New Year special with the Dalek.
Oh, okay.
Jodie
so
and the Dalek.
HBO Max. Okay.
I don't know.
For me, it's HBO Max.
For us, it's iPlayer.
Yeah.
iPlayer or...
See, Brian, when you behave yourself and you're a good boy, this is the sort of stuff that we get.
Look, I don't kill characters. Other characters kill characters.
Characters that are controlled by you.
It went with their writing, their motivation.
Yeah, and who wrote it?
Brian. You're the watcher in this. Come on,
I'm a method actor.
No. He's not the watcher in this. Trust me, the watcher's forbidden to interfere. This little bugger. If he's a watcher, he's Aaron. Aaron the Watcher.
Aaron the Rogue Watcher, I'll take it.
Yep, from Fantastic Four. They've announced that, haven't they? Finally.
Not yet.
No, they've definitely announced a movie and a logo.
Mm.
And
was that part of the big upfront thing?
Yeah, where they basically vomited out all their plans for world domination. Someone would have listened to that and worked out a way of bringing them down. You watch.
Hey, at this point, given what they're doing with the Star Wars TV shows, I'd let them.
Yes, The Mandalorian. Like I say, I'm not a great Star Wars fan, but as television goes, brilliant.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Give the keys to Filoni and Favreau. Tell them, Go ahead, do what you want. Just make us money.
There's
That's
a-
it.
There's a thing.
It's not that hard.
There's a thing doing the rounds on Facebook. Disney have acquired quite a few franchises and IPs over the years. And they got Marvel. They've got Star Wars. And they've got the Muppets.
Yes.
Why are we not having a Muppet Star Wars?
Give it time.
Oh,
Would you like to watch a Muppet Star Wars? It's called Farscape.
No, thank you. I see where you're getting at, but no. A Muppet Star Wars, or indeed Muppet Avengers. I mean, they own the rights to all of them. Christ's sakes, that could be your output for the next 10 years, and no one would complain.
Did you hear the other rumor about Disney? What they're thinking about redoing?
Disney Planet,
No.
Songs of the South.
Firefly.
Oh yes, I did hear about that, but
Oh,
Joss
yeah.
Whedon doesn't seem to be involved.
Yeah.
don't
And
reboot it though.
No, I'd be very happy if they brought back the old characters. The trouble is, Disney Plus certainly trying to be a bit more friendly, a little bit friendlier. They're going to have to drop the rating of it. Inora, for example, she's basically a posh prostitute. They can't really have that in a show that's going to be seen by kids. You know what the censors are like. And it's going to be interesting to see. I would love to see
Float
it with
that over to Hulu.
with the original cast. But
Yeah, they can float that over to Hulu. Hulu. They owned Hulu also for all their R-rated stuff.
can't actually get Hulu over here. Not on the telly, not as an app. Plus, a lot of it's region locked, which is very annoying. I know VPN and everything else like that, but I can't use it with the Xbox. So, there we go. Not without doing lots of things I don't understand. Which I'd do if you were here to do them for me. Oh dear. I do like the fact I know a few people who know a little bit about computers. It's very useful. I mean, quite frankly, if Adam actually charged me for customer service, I would be poor. I would be very, very poor for the rest of my life. Mind you, at times I've helped him out. It was him trying to sort something out, and I said, have you tried switching it on?
Have you smacked it up against the side?
Now, my job, whenever Adam's looking at my computer, because obviously I wouldn't be there if he was looking at his own computer, unless for some reason he did. But my job is to point out the bleeding obvious, just in case.
Sometimes you need that.
I did it with my stepfather once. He was trying to get the video player working, and he couldn't get it working, and he was getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And I was trying to sort of say, look, Terry, look. And he wouldn't have it, and he was shouting at me to back off and everything else like that. And in the end, he gave up, and I said, do you want to try plugging it in?
I did that with my father once.
Yeah, my stepfather was a bit of an arsehole.
He was reading the instructions to set up my ColecoVision.
Your what?
ColecoVision.
You see everything in Calico?
It's a console gamer. It's old.
It was at the
school.
same time as the 2600, but the ColecoVision was kind of
Oh,
that
yeah.
was next.
It had
gen.
Popeye and Donkey Kong. Oh yeah.
Calico.
This is the
I've
one you
not heard
wanted.
of that before. I have not heard of that before.
He's on page 3 of the instructions, trying to figure out how to hook this damn thing up. I've already got it set up. I'm playing it. I'm 7.
Yeah, you see, I've often said, Douglas Adams, the quote, and I'll have to paraphrase this because I won't get it exact. Everything up to the age of 16 is normal. Everything from the age of 16 to 30 is, oh, wow, this is great. Let's have a little look. This is brilliant. Everything from the age of 30 is basically the work of the devil and needs a small child packaged with it to explain it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas Adams got that right. Quite frankly.
He was not wrong.
No, he was not wrong. That's very, very true. So what are your plans for Christmas? You've got the boy and his missus coming over, haven't you?
The boy and his girl are coming over. I ordered a rib roast, and I'm going to cook it up Christmas Day. Just plain big old dinner, give them their presents.
They've strayed so much from home. I mean, it should be a goose or a turkey on Christmas Day, but no, it's a rib roast.
Have you seen rib roasts? Oh,
Oh no! Whether you like turkey or not, you have to have it. It's the same with sprouts, which are weaponized
Look,
vegetables.
I'd love to have goose. I love goose. Have to dry it out perfectly, before you cook it. I love goose. I love duck, but this is going to be a
You
rib
can get
roast.
them all in a tin now.
Nah.
I know you lot over in America, you have chicken in a tin.
Chicken in the
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
What about
And
a
it's-
turducken?
Oh,
We could do a turducken. There you go.
pterodactyl duck crossover.
Ka-clack.
It's a duck. Oh, it's a chicken stuffed in a duck, stuffed in a turkey,
yeah, they sell them
wrapped
over
in
here.
bacon.
Yeah, they sell them over here in Iceland and the like.
Yeah, we
That
wrap
sounds
it in
like
bacon.
They call it the-
engineering.
I think they
Doesn't
call
sound
it
like
the-
Christmas dinner.
They call it the three roast, don't they?
Oh,
like that.
yeah, that thing. Yeah, it's like a Viennese whirl sort of. It's like a one of them cake. Yeah, no.
I am
Yeah.
hoping.
Now they have sheep stuffed in a pig, stuffed in a cow.
Perhaps she'll die. Eddie, what's your
I
Christmas
call it a
going to
heart
be like?
attack.
I mean, you've got the opportunity now to tell Sean he's not allowed round on Christmas Day, if you want.
No,
there.
he's here already. So Sean, hats off to him, right? So he went into self-quarantine for 2 weeks, didn't see anybody in his flat, then came home,
Well done, mate.
and now we're in obviously a little bubble. So he's with us through Christmas and New Year.
Oh.
So
Did he
Sean's
bring
home.
his laundry like everyone
Of
should?
course.
Oh,
It's only right and proper. It's the law,
Yeah.
frankly. The law.
Yeah. I'm going home to see my mom and dad bring the laundry.
Yeah, absolutely. So the 2 weeks self-isolated. Now he's home, so it's great. So he's part of our bubble. We found out later on, not early this week, tail end this week, get an email through. So if all things remain equal, we don't go to tier 4 before. Scotland's going to go to tier 4, which is basically a lockdown on Boxing Day. As long as that doesn't happen before Christmas Day, as long as anybody at Jack's residence doesn't come down with COVID between now and Christmas Eve, we get Jack home between 2 and 8 o'clock on Christmas Day for Christmas dinner. So
Oh,
we get Jack
that's
in there. So
wonderful.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh,
awesome.
I'm over the moon. Oh, I was
So
going to
we
ask.
missed
That was
him
my
at
next
We
question.
didn't get to see him at Easter. We didn't get to see him on his 20th birthday. So and we don't want to blow on it because obviously it's as long as nobody contracts COVID-19.
Yeah.
And also he will get the first vaccination jab on Tuesday.
Oh,
So obviously
wonderful.
there's 2.
That's fantastic. What superpower did he pick?
Oh, I have no idea. I think probably he's into Spider-Man, so I'm going to go with wall crawling and
So
spider
your Christmas dinner is essentially going to be chicken nuggets.
that'll be part of.
I thought it might be.
To be honest, there's nothing wrong with that.
And you can finally give him that lolly.
Do you know what? Right, see the lolly, right? It's not here anymore. It's
What?
in a bag. We've put it in a bag in his room, and that's going to go in his Christmas stocking. So that's why the lolly isn't here today. So,
Do
yes.
you have a backup plan just in case this doesn't come through?
If that doesn't happen, we'll be allowed to go up and drop off his presents at Ridge Park House.
And you'll be able to see
so-
him?
We'll be able to. Well, hopefully, there'll be a case. If it's a
distance
case
and all
of the. No, if it'll be full lockdown if it's a case that somebody at Ridge Park's contracted COVID between now and thing. But the staff are going to start to get inoculated as well. The residents are getting inoculated from next week. So obviously it's 2 jabs. I didn't realise it was 2
Yeah,
jabs.
I
You
think
get
there's
the
a
first
2 or
one
3
and
Yeah.
week gap.
Yeah,
And then you
so-
get the second one.
So
And then it takes a little
hopefully-
while longer. And then
That's
eventually
only
you're-
for the Pfizer one, I think.
Yes,
I think the
yes.
Moderna
Yeah,
one
it's
is a
Pfizer
single
one.
jab.
I don't know about the Oxford one. They haven't quite released it yet.
The Moderna one just got emergency usage on Friday.
So a kind of big thank you to Scottish Autism and Health
Yes.
Protection Scotland as well, because they have bent over backwards for the autistic residents. At
I'm in
Ridge Park
love
House.
with Scottish
Okay.
autism. I mean, we've said before we're going to try and do something to
Yeah.
raise some money for them.
Yeah.
The trouble is, I haven't been well enough.
We'll do that in the new year. We'll definitely do that in the new year. And I want to do something like if we get a chance to. I've always talked about doing the West Highland Way, big walk in Scotland.
Oh yes, you mentioned yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to if
do me a favour, walk it, don't run it.
I'll be lucky if I can walk it. I was thinking more of a crawl.
I used to love walks like that, going up escarpments and gorges and places like that. It was just, I loved it. Can't do it now, of course. I try walking anywhere, I fall over, flat on my face. But
we'll see what the new year brings. But so that was the good news. We've got all things remaining. We'll see him on Christmas Day. All things remaining equal as well. Well, no, he's going to get the first jab next week. And then, obviously, when he gets through that, we can hopefully go and see him and a little bit more freedom and maybe take him out.
Hopefully, yeah, because no one sort of said what it's going to be like when some people are inoculated and some aren't. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Do me a favour. I know you're going to have a lot on your plate on Friday. But if it comes off, if it happens, can you let me know? Just put a thing in Discord.
Oh, sure. No, he's not.
Please,
Yeah,
I would like
absolutely.
to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I take an interest in this. Probably because of Andrew and Jamie. But there we go.
I tried to save this for on air, but so it wasn't all bad last week. So we get some good. By the time we got to the end of the week, we're starting to get some good news.
I've run out of books.
Yeah,
That's my bad news for the week. I've run out of books.
You've run out of books?
Yeah.
You should have put them on your Amazon list.
That's the trouble. There aren't any I actually really want. I haven't had a chance to sit down and look at books.
Don't worry, I'll get you the Twilight Saga.
If you can get
right away.
Well, look, there's Ground Zero on that list, which is a graphic novel.
Everything is on your list is sold out.
I'm looking some
hell,
time off between Christmas and New Year because I'm going to finish Eccleston's
I took care of it. I got you some things. I got you 2 books. It's on.
I've bought and read the 2 Time Lord Victorious books, which are really good. Then you've got the Marvel Masterworks, which I received 2 of this week. They're up to Secret Empire now, which is nice. And then, hang on. There was something. Oh yeah, I ended up reading Michael E. Bryant's autobiography. I'm not one for autobiographies, but this one was very accessible.
You the 90s Marvel UK Invasion ones. The ones with the Mistech Wars and
oh no, don't
Death
worry
Metal.
about. No, I've got some. I think, is it Mistech? I know I've got the Knights of Pendragon, and I think that includes some Mistech stuff.
I think you have Death's Head.
Death's Head isn't in the Knights of Pendragon, certainly, because these are collections. These are just simple hardbacks, which have about 6 to 8 issues reprinted in them, with some background and some covers. But the fact is, I get them for free, so the trouble is, I'm going to have to live outside, because this collection was only supposed to go up to 100. It's heading to 200 now. And I don't have room for it. I used to review these regularly. I suppose I really should do. Should carry on doing that. Because the other one I got was Kate Bishop Hawkeye. Which is...
she's good.
Yeah. But, no, they tried to screw me over with the Doctor Who reviewers thing. Turned around and said, you need to pay. Here's your outstanding bill. In this case, hang on a moment. It's a review copy. I'm not paying you a penny. You know, you got free publicity for this. It wasn't the fact that they charged me. Well, it was. But it was the fact they didn't give me the option to continue receiving the books and pay. Or just not continue receiving the books. And I would have not continued receiving them. But I didn't get the option. So that pissed me off. But like I say, I've got a load of Marvel... There's a sort of complementary one. Each issue is based around one character. So I got
Spotlight?
No, I don't think it's called that. But these Marvel Masterworks, I think they're going to go until the crack of doom, or until the pickles run out. Yeah. Okay. It's nice to have though, but I've run out of books. I've got to try and think of something I want to read. I suppose.
Do you do autobiographies?
Not normally. That's the thing. I mean, I read Tom Baker's because it has to be read to be believed, or not believed, as the case may be.
That's on my list. I want to. My goal is when I'm off work and I can step away from things. I want to finish Peter Eccleston's autobiography because it started off.
I heard it was Peter Eccleston.
Peter Eccleston, yeah.
Peter Eccleston. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a couple of
His
weeks,
real name-
but there it is. Took his time, but it's
The
there.
hat's over there. I can't. I'm too tired to even stretch.
Don't worry.
I-
Don't worry.
I'm sort of wearing it.
I could have reached for one of the
Christopher
Marvel books, which
Eccleston's.
is-
Yes.
It's nice to see we're keeping up the Christmas tradition.
I had
Yeah,
to
damn
do-
straight.
Yeah.
It's.
That was deliberate.
I've sent you
Yeah.
something that should help. That's all I'm going to say about your Christmas present. It should help you with your unworthiness.
Brain cells. New brain cells. I think I need them.
I think
Eddie,
we all do.
your Christmas present might be a little late. They don't have shipping to Scotland. They're sending it to
Seriously?
me, and I'm sending it forward.
That's you're too kind. Seriously, thank you. I wasn't not expecting or needing anything, but thank you very much.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Oh.
Everybody's been saying that this year, and it's really sweet, but it's not about getting a present. It's about letting the person give the present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's
Yours,
about.
however, has direct shipping to the UK, so you're okay.
But Scotland's in the UK.
Yes,
it
but I'm
a
not
different
getting
shop, is it?
Eddie's from there.
Ah,
His-
right, okay.
He's getting something different than you.
No. God damn it, Eddie. Now we're going to have to get together and compare presents to see if he spent more on one of us than the other.
Oh yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh no, I made
Yeah.
very sure. I made
It's his
very
own fault.
sure.
It's his own fault.
I'm
I
an
did as
old time parent. I know not to stray.
Yeah. Two
One or
boys.
two
yeah,
different-
same. I did the same. That's why I made. That's why you get two things and Brian get one. It was just to make balance. off.
Balance it out. That's fair enough.
Yeah, balance out. It all has to balance.
Oh, yes, Dominic. Yeah, he couldn't make tonight. Sorry. The thing about Dominic is he has quite a busy life, and we're lucky to get him when we do get him.
He's got a few side projects on the
He's
go
got-
just now, and I think one of them's about to launch too, and it's just.
I remember having that energy,
Yeah,
you know?
I
Back
miss
in the
having
day
that
when
energy.
we'd be planning this, that, and the other, fanzines and celebrity cricket matches and God knows what else.
Youth.
That was my time in fandom, old school fandom, which I fucked up spectacularly. But yeah, there were some good days. They were some good days. We shall ne'er see their like. And the song, "Those Were the Days, My Friend," is perfect. Once upon a time, there was a tavern. Fitzroy Tavern, and
I've never ever been, and I probably never ever
It's-
get to go now.
Yeah, it's not it's not what it was. I'm going to be honest with you. They've got to the point where the floor isn't sticky. They redid
sounds
the
like a
place
pub
and
in
turned
Glasgow.
the
Yeah,
various
it's obviously
bars
a
into
cheap
little
thing.
bars. Now, considering the bar used to be absolutely chock-a-block, spilling out onto the road on the first Thursday of every night, of every month. Sorry, Thursday night. Now, not all of those people were Who fans, of course. There's an awful lot of City Types and whatever, but I know some stories from the Fitzroy Tavern.
So I missed out. I missed out on some picnics as well.
The two, yes, picnics in the park. Yeah, and the
Just
winter
think,
warmers.
You were years ahead of your time. Social distance picnic.
Oh, they were
open
lovely.
air.
They really were lovely. We'd managed to grab a spot in Hyde Park, which we claimed as our own forever. And it was just lovely to see some of the listeners, the people who wrote in and everything. It was just, it really was nice. And of course, I think that's where Joe and Wynne ended up meeting for the first time. I could be wrong. I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but they, they're married. They've been married now for 4 years.
So you introduced Dave and Elizabeth. You introduced Joe and Wynne. You matchmaker, you.
I didn't really introduce
Anybody
Joe
else?
and Wynne. It just happened.
You facilitated.
That's what all the great matchmakers say.
Yeah, they don't
I
even
just
realise
get them
they're doing
together and it just happens.
it.
There was another couple. This is back in those fandom days. I shall not mention names in case memories differ, and I don't want to upset people. So I'm Cyrano de Bergerac. I'm always the bridesmaid, never the bride. It's some good stuff. Next week should be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. Next week's going to be great.
Like I said, we've only got the two things to talk about because let's talk about Christmas and this, that, and the other.
I'll forewarn you, I've not got work on the Monday, and I've got a bottle of Advoca with my name on it. So that's my Christmas tip. I love a snowball.
Now the other thing is, I don't know if you checked Facebook, but I tagged you in a post, Eddie.
I've not been on Facebook.
Yes,
but
Brian's already looking bashful.
Why are you causing more trouble?
Yes, Brian's already looking bashful. He put up.
I know exactly the post you're talking about.
Oh, yes. He put up a video from Looper stating, here are sci-fi programs whose ending completely ruined them.
Ended poorly.
So, just to prove his point, it was Life on Mars. But as I pointed out, Life on Mars.
Life on Mars was the #1.
Yeah, but that wasn't that.
I'm not the only person to feel this way.
Is that the American Life on
No,
Mars?
it was the British one.
Oh, British.
And the thing is, the story hadn't ended with that because there's still 3 years more with Ashes to Ashes.
More?
They had to because the story ended so poorly.
No, they'd already planned it. Anyway, but of course,
there is one right before it.
Yeah, in there.
You may disagree.
As a man who talks like this. Yes.
Prisoner?
Fallout.
No.
Yeah, they had a right go at Fallout, Eddie.
They did not like it.
And he's basically
he
is basically cheering these guys. I want you to know that.
I'm only cheering the Life on Mars part. I'm not cheering the Prisoner at all. I disagree with them on that.
And Battlestar Galactica?
Oh, I totally agree with that.
I
absolutely agree with the balance.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Kraken Angels.
No.
Okay, I enjoyed it.
Kraken Angels, god damn it.
But
what was the spin-off series the show did as well?
Paprika.
Was it, Caprica? Oh, it was Paprika, yeah, that was rubbish.
Yeah, that was very bad. I watched that one season and I was like, I'm done.
But there's constant rumours of another revival of Battlestar Galactica, possibly two
They
at once.
are thinking about it.
And also, what's the other one? Oh, we were talking about it, Firefly. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've got 1 out of 5. We'll give them 1 out of 5.
But
I'll give them 2 out of 5. I'll give them the Battlestar Galactica one and the Life on Mars one.
No, I agreed with some of them, like Lost, Heroes.
Lost was awful. Heroes was the failure of the writers, the writing guild.
Lost was Angela. Lost is probably one of the few. At the time, Angela wasn't into sci-fi and things like that. Lost brought it. We watched it together. We invested in it. We couldn't wait. So through nefarious means, through work, it was the discs going through burned discs with the latest episodes, so you could binge watch them before. Well, Netflix was a thing, but it wasn't its current thing. And when Lost finished, it was kind of like, what are we going to watch it now? Because that's. But it opened up doors to various other things that we started to watch together. So no, I've got a lot of affection.
That's the problem I've got at the moment, because I'm doing nothing every day, because I can't, and I'm just sitting there. And
it's called Intruders. It's on Amazon.
No, I'm not watching Intruders because you keep going on about it.
Kidding Now TV. It's really I'm enjoying it, and it's that kind of Mr. Rogers meets Jim Carrey. It's really quite. It's bits that are funny, bits that are dark.
What's it called, please?
It's Kidding.
And it's on Now TV.
Now TV. There's 2 seasons of it. Kidding. Okay. So
I'm slowly making my way through Ashes to Ashes. I'm on the last series now. Jim Keats has turned up. Ooh. Oh, there was so much you were going to get to. Can I tell you?
Go ahead, spoil it.
are you all right with this?
Yeah.
Seriously, you're not going to go and watch it at some stage
not gonna
out of
watch it.
boredom.
He's-
I'm
No,
not going
just-
to go looking for this one.
All right.
Trust
Basically, the police psychologist, Alex Drake, who's a DI, has been looking into Sam Tyler's file. The fact he came back and then killed himself and this, that, and the other. And he'd written down everything that had happened with him whilst he was in the coma. Gene Hunt and this, that, and the other. There's a police incident. Guy with a gun. Alex gets drawn into it as a police psychologist. Unfortunately, her daughter Molly's in the car. Alex ends up sort of facing off against the gunman, and Molly breaks ranks and runs to try and stop him. The guy kidnaps Molly, the daughter, and Alex has to track him down. She tracks him down, and he shoots her. She wakes up to the sound of Vienna by Ultravox, which is always a good
Don't
thing to
hold
win.
that against it. Seriously,
Fuck
don't
off.
hold that against it.
This is the podcast that likes Vienna and tolerates the Portsmouth Symphonia. An old Portsmouth Symphonia
Wait,
version
how
of
can you
Vienna.
tell the difference?
Oh, for Portsmouth, I'd listen. I'd pay for that.
Yeah, I've heard did the cruise ship thing.
Oh yeah.
You know the one. I've heard her version of it. It's oh dear. Anyway, I've heard some amazingly bad versions of that song. She wakes up. Oh, hello. I'm getting a holiday promo from Malaware Bytes. They can sod off. Bye. And she wakes up and she's dressed up almost like an 80s tart. And there's Gene Hunt, Ray, with a ridiculous perm.
Of course.
And Chris. They've moved down to the metropolitan area. She recognises at once who they are. Faints, which she would do. And so she immediately knows what's happened to her. Because of all Sam's things. And she's sort of saying this is her own subconscious making this. And she doesn't understand it. I mean, she walks in one morning and says, "Good morning, imaginary constructs." Which I do like. And the first series, she thinks she's there to stop her parents being killed. And the first series deals with that. The second series is about corruption in the Met. And also the fact that there's an evil leaper. There's somebody in the room next to her in the hospital in the 2000s. And basically, he can hear what's going on with her. And it's passing through to him in the dream world. And he's trying to fuck things up for her quite badly. And then the third series, it's where Jim Keats turns up. Department of Internal Affairs or something like that. He's there to basically sort out the Met, the police station, Gene's department. Gene is his major number one enemy. And it is through Jim Keats we find out everything. Jim Keats and Alex. Again, do you want to know? Do you want to know how it ends?
Sure.
You don't care, do you?
Not at all.
No, I'm going to tell you anyway, because fuck you. Basically, Jim Keats is working on basically splitting up the team. He's putting wedges, little chips in things to try and destroy their faith in Gene Hunt. To the
Why?
point... Oh, you'll
Why?
see. You'll find out. And he's showing an interest, Eddie. He's showing an interest.
Yeah, we're getting them.
Yeah. In the last episode, Jim asks Ray, then Chris, individually into his office to watch a videotape. And it's a videotape of their deaths. Ray basically hung himself. Chris got shot. He was a uniformed copper. And Shaz, the new female copper for Ashes to Ashes, got stabbed. And they are all there. And at the same time, Alex has been trying to track down what happened to Sam Tyler. It's quite a big thing. You know, what did Jean have to do with Sam Tyler dying? And she ends up following the clues to a bleak hillside with a little ramshackle house at the bottom of it. And she digs up a body. And she's been haunted by the body of this policeman. The dead policeman, the figure of one, with the scarred face and everything. And it's that policeman. Now, Jean's there with her, and he's just he's wiped. And it turns out that the policeman who was buried there is Gene Hunt. And he was just a young, innocent copper who just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He ended up in this place and decided to be the sheriff. And Keats, in the meantime, has managed to get Ray, Chris and Shaz to go with him to his department. However, there's a blag going on, and because Chris really improved. In fact, Ray doesn't do too badly. They both improve rather well in Ashes to Ashes. Has taken a radio with him, and he hears that Alex and Jean are still going to go and do this. During this final series, each of the four main characters, Alex, Shaz, Chris and Ray, towards the end of each episode, one of them, everything would fade around them. You'd hear life on Mars in the background and almost stars around them. In this case, what the hell's going on? Anyway, Gene Hunt takes them one evening down a road, and there's the railway arms from Life on Mars in London, and there's Winston, and there's a very white light coming out of the door. Turns out Jim Keats was a demon trying to get people to give up on the good and go down to hell, and Gene Hunt is the man standing between him and all the other coppers. This place is an afterlife for coppers where they can sort themselves out and then eventually move on. And Gene Hunt's the sheriff. He's self-appointed. He's given up on his own happiness just to do this. That's who Gene Hunt is.
Okay.
Good. Glad that's over. Thank God for that. I will never have to talk to it with you again. Unless it's to mock you.
Over.
Wait till Lazarus comes out.
What the hell is Lazarus?
They're doing one. It's going to be feature Ashes to Ashes, Life on Mars, and some modern stuff. It's the third series or mini series.
Not
whatever.
gonna watch it until you watch Intruders.
Okay then, Eddie and I'll review it.
Okay. I'm just saying you would enjoy Intruders. It's got John Sims, Millie Bobby Brown. It's got
Molly Mandy.
Huh?
Millie
Sweet
Molly
Sugar
Mandy.
Candy.
Exactly, Sweet Sugar Candy.
Yeah. Mira Sorvino.
Righto.
It's really good.
I recognise one of those names.
You would be surprised. Millie Bobby Brown is 11 from Stranger
11
Things.
from-
I have a tendency to, if people pushing me to actually watch something, I won't watch it. It's
Now you know how I feel.
yeah, but you had to watch it, or else.
Oh, I watched it.
I think that's
I'm grateful you did. I'm just very
I've been guilty of that
sad.
as well. Is Sean still in the chat room? Because I'm sure if you,
I think possibly he might be. Yes.
Yeah, because you must watch Ricky and Morty, and you must watch them. No, and then end up watching them and thinking, this
Rick
is
and Morty is just dumb.
I like
Rick and
Rick and Morty. I love the concepts they come up with, but occasionally, like South Park, it goes too far. That's my only problem with it. But I do.
I become Grandpa Simpson though. I sometimes call him Richie and Screechy and stuff like that. It's just like it's my brain.
I just go outside and yell at clouds. I mean,
I don't go outside. I
Richie
did
and Morty.
when I had to take the cat to the vet. Dear God, my legs are so bad. Jesus.
How's the wheelchair thing going?
I've used it twice because I just haven't felt well enough to use it. You got to remember, it's not just the wobbly legs; it's everything else as well.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it's difficult to get the chair in and out. Occupational therapy was supposed to do something about it, and they haven't turned up. Social services have vanished. I'll have to wait until the new year and give them a call and say, "Oi, I still exist.
Yeah. Let's get on.
You know, you left me alone last time. Don't do it this time." They were appalled when they found out I'd received no care last time round. It's a case of, this is terrible. And then they vanish.
Yep.
But
What was that about?
they've been starved of money, and on top of that, they got the whole COVID thing to contend with.
Yeah.
So I keep my cool, I keep my chill. You know, it can't be helped, quite frankly.
Exceptional circumstances.
Brian, it looks
You
like
get
you're
one.
cross-dressing.
It's
Looks
not-
like
it's-
you're
it's
wearing a
behind
black dress with a little chiffon scarf.
Have you got lights or something behind you? Cause is it just me, or is the background changing colour? Or it's
It does occasionally.
I'm the one smoking
No, I
this
can't-
stuff, and it doesn't.
Brian,
No,
can you hold
the
it like
camera-
that? Can you hold your scarf and do that?
Hey, hey. Ooh.
Shang-a-lang.
I love you, love.
Shang-a-lang, Shang-a-lang.
Indeed,
They
Shang-a-lang.
set your rollers.
My sister
Da,
was
da, da,
huge
da,
into them.
da.
My sister was huge into them. Did you ever see the footage where they were going to do a live thingy? And this case, we'll put them on this little island in the middle of a pond. And all the fans just swarmed across the water.
There you go.
Like, they were very,
There-
very big.
I have brought back the sun.
Oh,
All hail, son.
cha-la-la-la. It's all right. I've still got the fire. That's not bad. You shall not make fire. Do you know, I've been going for it.
Switch up my Transformers.
Oh, do you think
for
you
the
should?
holidays.
Do you think you should? Do you mean by
Well-
basically taking bits off one and putting it on another? Like
No,
a glove
no,
hat?
no. Like take that shelf and switch it up with the one Decepticon shelf I have, and just
I dare and do that
something-
with mine. Everything's finely balanced. So if I try to do a reshuffle, everything's just going to go.
Yeah,
Well,
see,
I
I
did.
have to clear that off, and I don't know where to put any. Yeah,
New shelves.
I don't have any more room.
Oh,
I've only
dear.
been doing this since March, and I'm already out of room.
I just love the fact you two. I look at your rooms and think, oh, look how lovely, clean and
Oh,
collected it is. And
I-
then I look at my
we
place
haven't
and think,
told-
oh dear.
My wife, who doesn't exist, always
Oh, yes.
she's quick. You can't show me. So if I move to the corner, right? I don't know if you can see it, right? It's just a shed load of hats and junk, and that's my corner, my junk corner. So no, that's why I sit here.
You
so nobody
consider
sees
that bad, do you?
it. In my wife's mind, that's bad. In my wife's mind, that's bad.
In your imaginary wife's mind.
Yes.
bad.
Which means
In my
that's in your
wife's
imagination.
mind.
Right ho. Okay, I'm trying to follow this now.
And I've got
That's cold.
more stuff lying down there.
Don't drink it.
Cold tea.
Oh! I tell you what, I've got it up here from my office, and Sean got it a
Whoa.
couple of Christmases ago. I don't know if this will come across right, but look at this.
It's the Enterprise.
Yes, but look what it's composed of.
Tanix caramels.
Camel wafers. Is that not ingenious?
Yes.
So it's on the floor just now, but that's going up in the wall. He got
I've
that commissioned for us. That was because we moved
I was
here.
going to get you a framed poster, but I didn't know where to find one. I got, the Second World War Dalek picture for Victory. That
Yes.
was in Victory of the Daleks. I got that up on the wall. That's framed. It's quite impressive, actually. You can't see it from this angle. Like I say, you got the little bits there.
I've got a signed Matt Smith photograph downstairs as well. That's in my kind of sitting room. That's
Yeah.
Angela managed to get me that.
We need to get you a scarf, love. You don't have a Doctor Who scarf,
I'll
do
want
you?
it. I'm sure there's a scarf down there I can use.
No. You don't have a Doctor Who scarf, do you?
Oh God, no. All right, I don't have a doctor's scarf.
Oh, you're going to. This is Brian's highly inaccurate attempt.
Brian, where'd you get that?
Just got it for me for my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Hang on, I still gotta wrap this. This is 12 feet long.
Is that all?
Well, you know.
My season 18 is 26 foot long.
Did Jess
God.
make it?
No, she bought
Nice,
this.
Gav. Now, raise up the front bit a bit more.
No, I'm going to say it.
That's better. Yes,
There we go.
it's Baby Yoda, everyone.
It's so much better. I can barely see you.
You've no idea how good it looks from our end. Guys, we've been going for nearly 2 hours.
Bloody hell.
I know. I mean, we've been
It's a
talking about
Christmas
God knows
special.
what else. Dear. So, thank you for tuning in. Next week is something special, which the boys don't know about. Auntie's been sneaky.
We're gonna die.
Yes. It'll probably be quite noisy next week's show. Word of warning.
Oh God, she's bringing the Portsmouth Symphonia.
Symphonia!
No, I'm sorry. I wish I was, but I'm not. I really need to. Trouble is, I only use the computer once a week, and has to do this.
We need to get you playing video games again.
I don't feel well enough. It exhausts me doing this. It's just. I mean, I was thinking about Cyberpunk 2077 or whatever it's called.
Play
Maybe not at
Diablo.
the moment.
Play
Maybe not at
Diablo.
the moment.
Well, no,
Yeah.
the PC version's not too bad, apparently.
All right.
Yes, it is. Jess has it. She's got some videos up of it.
Oh, okay. I've been watching Jingles, and he's hardly had any problems. He's just a lucky git, little gnome. So yeah, we should have taken part in the Marie Curie, David Tennant and Georgia Moffat. Charity quiz.
Yeah.
I was just watching.
It was a Tuesday night, though.
I was watching it,
Yeah.
and basically, I've just finished the first round, and we would be 100%. That's all I'm saying. I'll keep going for the rest of it to see if we win.
Could I try to flirt with Georgina?
Good luck. She shuts people down quite brilliantly who try to flirt with
I
her
don't
husband.
mind. Hey, getting shot down is acknowledging your existence. That's all I'm saying.
She's very good. She obviously watches out for mentions of him. Somebody turned around and said, "I don't find David Tennant all that attractive," and she just replied, "I look at him and get pregnant." Yeah, fair enough. She's quite quick on stuff like that.
They have what?
They've got a sense of humour about it.
kids already?
I think George had 1 or 2 beforehand from a former relationship, I think.
Yeah, but he adopted the previous
Yeah.
ones.
I think so, yeah. And they just seem so happy,
Oh yeah.
which is lovely. To all intents and purposes, as far as we know, Tennant's a really lovely guy, so I'm guessing she's a lovely girl. And the pair of them just click, and that's the sort of thing you like to see about relationships. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter who
That's
it
the
is.
kind of star celebrity relationships you want.
Yeah, it's wholesome, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wholesome, listen to me. Dear God,
It's nice not to see,
I'm sounding
nice
like
to see
bread.
celebrities treating it as, disposable.
Yeah, it's just, we had a celebrity over here called Jordan. She was basically known for the Nudimax. She had the most huge inflated breasts going. She was thick as pig shit, ignorant, still is. And she'd basically marry people for the news, the mentions.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I know someone who knows Peter David. Things are. Let's put it this way: Peter David, sorry, Peter Andre, not Peter David.
Yeah.
It's the Star Trek author, Peter Andre, and he's the nicest guy possible. He really is.
Always comes across that way.
Yeah,
It always-
yeah, he's possibly a plank short, but
Yeah.
he's a really sweet guy, and it makes you wonder what the hell were you doing with her.
Yeah.
Oh God, we've gone
I
into
feel
celebrity gossip. Very old celebrity
He's
gossip, but
gullibility,
celebrity
He's
gossip.
gullible. Just like you said, a bit gullible.
An announcement: the House of
February-
Pooh Corner has shut for the foreseeable because of the coronavirus. They don't want people, because it's a major tourist attraction for the area, they don't want to start dragging people into this little village of Hartford and, you know, putting the risk up for people and also their staff as well, because it's cosy. Let's put it that way. But they've done a really great job with it. But yes, so they're shutting until things become for the what did they used to say during the war? The duration. There we go, for the duration. Thank you, Brian. 2 hours and 40 seconds. Look at that. That's a record for us, I think. I mean, I'm sure I've done longer podcasts, but one of these, no.
We've tried for a couple.
It must mean we're being more tolerable then. We're being tolerated now, Brian. That's what it means. We're over 2 hours.
Yeah, she's tolerating our existence more.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Like fungus
no.
growing.
I just deny
Well,
your
because-
We're
existence.
attaching.
It's a
like
lot
parasites.
better. It's a lot nicer, quieter. And you know, it's basically Omega's world. I deny your existence.
We are the remore on the shark that is Siobhan.
I don't get
You're
that.
going to need a bigger scarf. I'm just saying. I would wear one of mine, but it means A, digging it out, and B, I am so warm nowadays. Those bloody steroids. Ah! They do strange things to me at night.
Shows your guns.
They end up. My legs suddenly start kicking out left, right, and centre. I'm
Have
not
you
in
been
control.
lifting?
Or my hands.
Are
start
you
doing
walking
things.
around like this more?
No. And not those
That's
sort of
stage
steroids. These steroids make you the size of a house, but in fat, not muscle.
We need to get you lifting.
You need to get me walking first. Come on now.
Bro.
Actually, I could do. I honestly think I could do with something like that. I mean, I don't have room for it here, but a treadmill or something, just to slowly get my legs.
What's that bike thing you've got, Brian? Is that one of these bikes where it's like you do the virtual classes and stuff?
Oh yeah. We ordered a Peloton for because 2020 has been shit, and
Hey, he's free.
you know how they say COVID-19? Well, I've done the COVID-20. So yeah, we ordered a Peloton, and I'm gonna try to lose a spare tire. And
For me, it's just to get my legs working again, because I mean, I haven't used them in months, not properly. Like I say, when I took the cat to the vet, there's a little alleyway just by where I live, and halfway down there's a little city down bit. I only just got there before my legs gave out. That was a case of, this is not good. And I don't know if
I
it's...
sit all the time at work, and I sit here. I need to get active.
I don't know if it's the illness, or if it's just the simple fact I've been housebound for so long now that my legs are weak. I think it's a combination.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah, probably. But it's bloody
I mean,
annoying.
I used to ice skate like all the time.
Hang on, I've got an image now. Bear with me.
No, hockey skates, not figure skates.
Yeah.
Don't put me in a tiara. You
Sorry.
get me out of that tiara.
I'm sorry, you're too
Figure
late.
skating, no,
You are
right?
too late. You should have specified before.
Siobhan, it's on iPlayer. It was on BBC4. It was a documentary about John Curry.
Oh,
And
yes. No, Robin Curry, surely.
Robin Cousins followed him. John Curry.
Yes, you're right.
It's on BBC4. It's on iPlayer. I can't remember what it's called, but you'll get it through John Curry. Angela started watching it. And it's brilliant. I mean, I just like biographies and stuff like that. It took you through everything that he went through, from his training right through to how he was trying to do the kind of make the ice dancing is up there and recognised like ballet. If you get the chance, watch it. It's a must watch.
I did buy
Which now
myself...
means, Brian, she won't watch it. She won't watch it.
I'll probably forget because it's ice skating. And I don't know.
Oh, seriously?
I know, it's the thing like, what's it, The Queen's Gambit on Netflix. I
Yeah.
intend to watch that, but I need to...
I've been watching that. Queen's Gambit is really
Brilliant.
good.
Everybody's been saying that, which is why I want to watch it. It's actually, this is good. Unlike Titanic, which just was a
I've
bit...
never watched. And
No,
I
I've
will
never seen
watch.
it, and I won't do.
And I will
My
never will.
sister loved Titanic.
Yeah.
I could not stand it.
Sorry, I'm just so warm.
She saw it like 16 times or something.
Why don't make
in
it
the theater.
What's then, Siobhan? You look as if you're having a meltdown.
It's. I got this new dressing gown, which I absolutely adore, but oh my god, it's hot. The one thing I bought myself a Christmas present. M.R. James Ghost Stories, not just the M.R. James, but basically Ghost Stories for Christmas. The stuff the BBC used to put on just before midnight on Christmas Eve. Most of them are the M.R. James stories, and there's Dickens' The Signalman. It's 6 discs, and I've watched the first 2, and this is wonderful. Creepy, atmospheric ghost stories. And they're from the 70s, so, it's mostly on film. In fact, it's all on film, I think. And it's just told really well. And a lot of it is just about the atmosphere. And I'm loving them. Absolutely loving them. I had to sort of fork out through the nose to get the set because the BFI didn't have it. So I ended up going, I think, Amazon? Yeah, Amazon. And I ended up buying it for twice the amount. But I honestly thought it's worth it. It is worth it. Yeah, I've got the next disc sitting in the Xbox waiting for me. Which reminds me, we need to go because we've done very well. Frankly.
We have.
Yes.
We've all done very well.
I don't think anybody's going to be watching this bit of the show. Oh, there we go.
I could say something about Doctor Who.
We did once. I remember that.
We covered it earlier.
Yeah.
We took care of it.
Say goodbye, boys.
We can sort it in the edit.
Yeah. We'll fix it in post.
That's the word that I was looking for.
Okay. This is why I moved to doing
Sean
live
do the
shows
edit.
like this, so I don't have to do any editing. Say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, boys.
And, incidentally, a happy Christmas to all of you at home.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
No, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere at all. I got the quote wrong. Shame on me. And incidentally, a happy Christmas to all of you at home. There we go. That's better.